Okay, it looks like I'm back. Welcome back to my IRC Bot and C from Scratch series. I've been watching a lot of YouTube lately, and particularly a lot of video game playthroughs, and apparently they call those Let's Plays, so I might as well call this Let's Program. Anyway, this video is going to be number 24, or at least it should be. If it's not, then I'm horrible at keeping track of my videos. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and dive on in then. Yeah, never mind. Okay. So, where I left off yesterday, or not yesterday, but last week on Wednesday, or Friday, we ran into an issue with the bot, such that there are some characters that are being truncated, involving the actual command parsing. This line should say found host name, but it's being cut off prematurely. Which leaves me to believe that I have yet another offset issue with my code. I created a test to kind of look at that to see if I could reproduce it. Yeah, so I have a couple of tests here that should illustrate the problem. Let's see what I wrote here. So I kind of wrote these tests after the last video. So here's me reproducing the problem somewhat. I went ahead and threw in a carriage return early, and I was able to actually reproduce the problem. This test right here, I don't think adequately reproduces it. So I'm going to go ahead and run them because I don't remember what happened last time. Alright, let's see here. Command must be 3 digits. Okay, so all my tests pass, ironically enough, but this is where I'm actually doing the actual error output here. So as we can see, it's kind of missing that last character M. Uh-oh. Why? Okay, whatever. Sorry about that. I was totally not expecting LastPass, or not LastPass, 1Password to update during the middle of my stream here. Anyway, so I was able to reproduce the problem a little bit. Just by adding an extra carriage return in here, but that doesn't adequately produce the problem that I'm facing here. And I'm not entirely sure how I would go about addressing the issue, because you would think I'd be able to reproduce this and then test no problem, but that's simply not how that's been working. So before I can call, before I can call quits on this project, which is actually coming to an end, and I have some notes about that more towards the end of this video, but I would think I'd be able to reproduce this problem with testing, but that doesn't appear to be the case. So what I would like to do is I'd like to actually see what the real line is that it's having issues with. So I'm just going to go ahead and go to my actual run file, and I'm just going to print out the line so I can actually see what line we're or see the line that we're attempting to parse. So I'll go ahead and get that in here. Let's see, IRC Lexer, get current line. I need the Lexer. I I guess I just don't have access to that directly. I think I should be able to, yeah, I have that defined. So we'll go ahead and get that current line and actually take a look to see what is happening. Oops, sorry. I didn't see that I used line length there. Let's see here. Ooh, there's a weird character at the end of that. Oh boy. This is kind of hard to read. We'll go ahead and we'll add another, so that way we kind of section it off a little bit here. Alright, we'll just rerun that. Wow, there's a lot here. Oh, weird. It's like it's off by a line. Well, that's interesting. Huh. Weird. It's off by a line. And look at these weird characters, like, that could screw things up. You know, I was actually just reading just now before starting the stream that I should do UTF-8. And that might actually help with this problem, because right now I'm doing everything in ASCII. So I'm curious what these weird characters are doing. And I'm not familiar enough. And then also on top of that, it's parsing one off. Well, yeah, on top of that, it's off by a line, which I guess it might be okay, I suppose, because the way this works is that it's not going to start parsing until everything's fully buffered in. Interesting. Well, it looks like we have a lot more videos on our hands. So here I thought I was about ready to wrap this up, but I'm seeing some things I don't like. Like, I don't understand why it's stopping prematurely. That's not good. There's like no special characters that I can see right here. But it's missing it, so we can go ahead and use one of these as a test at least to see if it actually, or put into my test suite here and see if it actually, you know, might work. And if it does, that's even weirder. And there's definitely like a buffering issue that I got going on. But that UTF one is also a bit interesting that I'm probably going to have to look at. I think I need to use like a special type of character, like WCHAR T or something like that, which might be for handling UTF-8. let's see here. Let's see. We'll write this test as yeah, I don't even know. I'll just leave it as it is right now. See if it actually fails. See what the output is even. Let's see here. I would just look for the parameters, so maybe I go ahead and copy this here and see what this says. This one should have two parameters, so 0, 1. Okay, so we're getting both of those. All right, let's run our test here. Ooh. Okay, well, that's a good start. Okay, so I was able to reproduce the cutoff here. So, given actual given notice command parse fully. So the problem with a lot of my tests so far up to this point have been counting parameters. So while it's actually able to count the correct number of parameters, it's not actually like doing the offset correctly to get the character from here to the end of here. So I'm going to go ahead and assert that the last parameter is the actual thing. So cr assert str equals, we'll give it the actual, which will be the message. In this case, command parameters, and then this one's going to be number 1. We'll get the value of that, and we'll compare it against, whoops, Control V versus Command V. You would think by 20, I always make a comment about that every single freaking episode. Well, part. Geez, if only I was on a Mac keyboard, you know, so I knew which button was my command button versus the control button versus the Windows button, which I think in this keyboard, Windows button is the command button on Mac. So, all right. Okay, so we'll go ahead and assert that, make sure it all works out. I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one, this test here, because I'm actually able to reproduce it with a different test. And I tried comparing the string length, and this one seemed to be okay. Well, that one's supposed to produce an error. Maybe. X is success. It's going to stop after this one. This should not be allowed. This should actually fail. Interesting. Okay. All right. Right. Okay. So, sweet. Now I need to figure out why it's not passing my test. This one should just flat out fail. Or maybe I'm silently keeping track of it. I don't know. This doesn't seem right. Or maybe I want that to have a colon in there. Maybe that's correct. I don't know. I'd have to look at the spec again. It's not supposed to, but whatever. Oh, right. Dates. I forgot about dates. I forgot that this one was supposed to test the dates. I should actually make that clear. to myself. Sorry about that. I'm just going to go ahead and do that right now so that way I don't waste all of y'all's time fiddling with that. What's today's date? 19th. Oh, 9/19. And we'll just do this right here. We'll just validate that that's correct down here. Okay. Sweet. Okay. That way we know that. I don't know why this is called verify param length. This is dumb. Oh, extra colon succeeds. Wow. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm like all bad tonight. I just want to refactor all of this crap. Let's get through here. Yeah. Get rid of this erratum note. We don't want to commit that. Okay, let's see if we're back to where we started. Sweet. Okay, finally. Okay, so this is interesting. Fortunately, I have other tests. They're not exactly like checking the actual. They're not checking the actual output. They're just checking that the they're just checking that the parameter count is good. Here's something. Okay, so I just noticed this. We're trying to match against that, but what we actually got was... So this could explain at least some of the offset issues, right? Because we have this leading space plus the colon. It should just be this part plus the rest of it. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So because I have my test all set up, I should be able to make this refactor a little bit. Well, refactoring this shouldn't be as much of a problem. So let's look at this crazy ass function again. Okay, so we're going to handle parameter. This should probably be renamed handle parameters because we're parsing the rest of them, but this is the parameter piece of the message. Okay, so when we get to a colon, we're going to increment the line offset, set not colon to false, and then eat that token. So really what it should be doing is it should just, when it comes to that, kind of grab that and run with it. But here we have that extra space. So I'm wondering if that asterisk threw it off. Okay, so it's correctly parsing that asterisk there. Okay, so let's assume that we're not at that colon then. At least not yet. Okay, so we get to our commands. We loop through each character. So we should start off at a space. We'll go ahead and advance it. We'll advance the line offset. Well, before we get to that point, no wait, hold on. I just had to choose something where the spaces were like 2 in between. Okay, so go through every character, loop it. Well, okay, not through every character. Okay, so the while true is to make sure that we don't get to an end of line or a token none. If it does, we're going to go ahead and break it. Or if we get back to the next parameter count, it might be too long. So then we break into this loop. So assuming that there's a space, is the colon? No. Is it a space and not colon? Which in this case, this will be true. Well, actually, hold on. Not colon should be true, yeah. So this will be true and true. This will be false. So then we start going through this rigmarole. But that doesn't make sense. You can see why this broke. It's confusing logic. I guess once we get into here, we know that we're at the start of parsing parameters, like the space before. Because there is that space before that first asterisk, and that parses out correctly. So it's when we get to the actual colon that things tend to break. Now, because there's that line offset, I wonder, well, let's see where we set that line offset. So line offset is minus the parameter count, so in this case 0, because we just got into this. So we're in the asterisk situation now. I'm going to go ahead and allocate a parameter. Allocated parameter string times the current character count. In this case, it should be 1. Line offset, so we're going to get the current offset of that minus the parameter count, which is 0. So then we do the line pointer plus the offset minus the character counter, because that's through the one character, so and then minus 1. Interesting. And then we're going to set that last one to a null terminating character. Set the length. Set the value. Is it EOL? No. The next, we're going to eat the space. So it looks like this will run after the first space and then try to loop through the next character, and then we're not at a space. So then we go to the next character, and then now we're finally out of space. And then we eat that space. I just had to calculate the calculate it like this, try to like retroactively copy the copy everything over. So this is why I have the -1 then, to compensate for that last space. that we're going to get rid of. Okay, so then we eat the space. Next character token should be that colon. So true and true, not colon is true, true, so we're going to set that to false. Increment the line offset, and then eat the colon token, and then move along until we get to the end of it. So we're going to eat that, and then we're going to continue. Token space, no. Keep going. Increment the character counter and the line offset. So, okay, and then keep going, keep going, keep going until we get to the end of the line. Oh, here, wait. This would be fall. Okay, so this allows for spaces. So then we go until the end of the line. And then once we get there, then we're a-okay. And then we eat that token. I feel like I maybe have messed up in the Lexer in the last episode because I was trying to target line endings in a more sane way. Than what I was doing before. It's almost like my line offset calculation messed up. But if that were the case, then it'd be off by like 2 characters all the time. Which I don't think is the actual case, judging from our output. Messages? No. Yeah. Okay, well, I could always try to plus it one more time. This is like bad. Well, we're getting closer. I don't know why I'd have to like mark it 3 times. That's kind of lame. I should probably do that because I'm continuing it. Yeah, that didn't help at all. It's actually going backwards. Oh, okay. Okay. Interesting. So it's actually going backwards. Well. Why am I doing line offset minus parameter count? I forget why I did that. Last time I was trying to debug these stupid line offset issues. Yeah, what the hell? Let's see if anything else breaks in my test. Okay, so we have another parameter that did break. But all we did really was remove that space, that leading space. Off by 1 errors, you gotta love them. Yeah, that's not gonna do anything. I'm just shooting in the shitter here. Yeah, we need to increment the line offset. So instead of it being, okay, I do have 2 parameters and it is off by 2. Another shot in the dark. Maybe that's what my issue was. I was trying to go backwards when I should have been going forward with that offset. Oh, okay, interesting. Let's find another one. Wow, I feel like a total dumbass for not seeing that sooner. It's okay though. Wow, everything seems to be going okay so far. We're getting even more characters parsed. That's good. This one's broken. What the hell? It could be output. I don't know. Look at this. Look at these spaces. That ain't right. Well, other things are starting to look good. These lines are looking good. I wonder where that complete space screw up happened. Let me look at that real quick. What? Attempting to parse. What? Yeah, where the hell are all these spaces coming from? There's only one right here, but this is like royally screwing up. Yeah, what up with that? Let's go ahead and have a look at that one. But other than that, things are looking better. And then they just completely break. Interesting. Oh. Yeah, this is definitely looking a lot better. Probably some still some weird things that need to be accounted for. Yeah, there's like truncation happening here, like right around the tags, which I'm not accounting for. I learned that there's like this tag piece of the IRC spec. Yeah, are supported by the server. Yeah. Yeah. See, yeah, there's like this weird thing happening with some of these things that I should parse out, as a matter of fact. Oh, great. That's another video. Dang it. Yeah, they're not really mentioned anywhere in the spec here, like in the params. I mean, it's supposed to be the command, but just today I learned something about tags through this, which I'm guessing this site is interesting because it's supposed to be like a combination of things that I guess were added but aren't really a part of the actual spec. Yeah, because we have, yeah, see, there's like these tag things. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. There's like these tag things that don't quite exactly work with my parser, but I think I might be okay with that. Let me do a quick search here. Do some tags. Yeah, see, tags aren't even mentioned in this part of the spec. Okay, I think I'm gonna go ahead and ignore those then. They're always gonna parse weird. And I'm not really equipped to handle them. So I think I might let it go. It's just too bad I'm not trying to build like a real IRC server, because I probably would want to handle that situation. And on top of that, I'm not handling any of the special characters either, so there's that. And then on top of that, it did break. I don't know what that was about. Like the process just exited. I wonder if that was me or if it just decided to break. Anyway, I think this is pretty good. We're at 30 minutes in. My tests are passing. I can actually, type in here and start seeing very slowly messages come in. It's a little slower than what I was expecting, honestly. I feel like it used to be quicker, but it's not like my algorithms are that intense. It's probably like how it's being buffered up and it's going through the network and then coming back, so there could be, network latency involved with that. But yeah, cool. Right, so I think I'm actually going to call it, not the video, but like as far as my testing is concerned, and as far as the goal of this bot is concerned, private messages are what I'm really looking for to put into my Elasticsearch service. Hence the name Elastic IRC Bot. While I get that set up, now would be a good time to type things into the comments. Or into the stream chat. I love it when people talk. It definitely makes me feel like I am not talking to myself the whole time, which I know I'm totally doing right now. Let's see here. I'm just trying to get everything going. I don't even know if my service is started, so I think this is it. Elastic, maybe start. Okay, so Elasticsearch is going now. I can't have a Kibana window open. Kibana doesn't like it when Elasticsearch is running as a service. I'm kind of like, what? Why? So I can't really like show anything that's going on right now in Elasticsearch other than to kind of toy around with paw here. So I've actually been working with Elasticsearch a lot at work, so I'm a lot more familiar with that now than I was when I first started this little pet project. So I just want to see real quick what I have all going in my current index. Looks like I have the username, some message, and then the date time created. I'm probably going to adjust that now because at this point it's no longer well, okay, so this could be considered the username, this part of the prefix, and then the private message is the command that we're looking for, and then the channel with the actual message. Okay, so yeah, it looks like to me that my index is pretty much already there. I guess it's just a matter of like putting crap into it. Oh god, I'm just trying to like imagine the sort of crap I have to write to do that. I might as well just do it by hand than to try to find a JSON library to take like some arbitrary struct and try to serialize that into JSON. That's a lot of work when I could just type it out. My index is fairly simple, so I should just be able to I think I'm going to go ahead and drop my current index and then recreate it with recreate it with also include the to also include the channel that it's in, so I can, when I run my Elasticsearch queries, I can go ahead and try to do analytics on a per channel basis. I don't know why I'm doing Elasticsearch anymore. I think I wanted to like count how many times someone said the word fuck, but now I'm trying to think of like an actually more like better use case for this, because currently right now I have a ZNC server set up on a DigitalOcean box, and I have that listening in on a couple of IRC channels, but its interface is kind of like wonky, and it'd be nice if I could like have like a full record of chat things that happen while I'm away, and it'd be nice if I could search that. And I think that's like a far better use for Elasticsearch than just trying to see how many times someone said a specific word. So I'm just going to go ahead and recreate my index if I can remember how to get rid of an index. At work, I actually have like pre-built queries to kind of handle these situations, but here I was kind of just dicking around. Yeah, I have like an insert record, I have a query, create index, but I need to be able to drop an index, and I don't even know what indexes I have. I guess this tells me what I have. Priv message, Elastic IRC Bot, test, IRC, whatever. Yeah, I just want to go ahead and get rid of all those, so I'm going to do a quick Google search to do that. Let's see here. So I'm much more familiar with documentation now, so I'm not afraid to search Elasticsearch documents. I actually know what this stuff means now. We'll go ahead and drop index. In this case, delete index. Okay, so it looks like I just passed it the actual index. that I want to delete. So we'll go ahead and do just that. Call that delete index. This is going to be a delete. My environment variable is base URL. Base URL, and then I'm going to pass in, let's see here, I'm just going to delete all of them, but I'm going to stick with one index going forward, so go ahead and run that. Where's my run button? There's my run button. So there's that one. I need to delete this one now. Okay, now that's deleted. Let's delete my Elastic IRC Bot. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. Like, when I first started doing this project, it was just a mess trying to figure out all the commands on Twitch stream. Go ahead and delete that too. Okay, I should have no more indexes. And I have a test one, so let's go ahead and delete that. Okay, that should be deleted. Run this again. Cool, got nothing. All right, so we're going to do, my index is going to be called Elastic IRC Bot. All right, not found. Perfect. Here we're going to create it. Let's see, where's my payload at? Let's go ahead and look on the documentation again for actually creating an index. I don't want to put it in the URL if I can help it. Maybe I do need to put in the URL. All right, that's fine. So we'll go ahead and keep it in there. The document is going to be called private message. Great. Properties, username, message, and then I need to add another one, which is going to be, let's see, properties here. Channel. And then I need to make this as an object. Cool. And then we're going to add a couple more properties to that. This one's going to be of type. Now, I forget all the types that we'd want to use here. Some are good for searching, others not so much, because we actually want to index things, and I don't think text is indexed. And when I mean by index, I mean like in the sense of like a database index, like a full text search or something like that. Elasticsearch, mapping types or something dumb like that. Okay, so we can have keyword or text. Keyword is the special thing that we want. Let's click on that. So channel should definitely be keyword. Username. Yeah, maybe I want all messages by a specific user. And I think I'll leave message alone. And I should just be able to use the date type for the date. I think that's pretty good. It's a pretty basic index there, so right. Cool. We'll leave the message alone. who sent it. This crazy string. This is kind of like a crazy keyword. I would like just the pieces that are necessary from that, which would be prior to the exclamation mark, but I can actually do additional parsing later on. Not quite to the extent of like what I have been doing, but since I'm going to be binding commands to like handler functions or something like that, then I could just pick it out, right then and there. Just do a while true or whatever until it reaches that exclamation mark and get me what I need. Easy enough. Yep. Cool. I think we'll do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and create this. Sweet, index created. Let's make sure it's actually there to verify. It's definitely there. Sweet. And all right, that's I hate to say it, but I think I'm going to try to close the Let's program a little sooner than my usual 1 hour. I think this is a good stopping point before I get too far into the weeds of fiddling with binding functionality to things and to do more lovely parsing, which I've gladly spent 20 plus episodes doing, much to my viewers' dismay. Anyway, some closing remarks. Since I am kind of getting close to wrapping up this project, I am looking for another idea to pursue, involving C, maybe not involving C. I'm open to suggestions. Feel free to leave those suggestions on the YouTube comments, or right now here in the stream chat would be nice. That'd be cool if I could have people just give me some suggestions in the stream channel or chat. I'm very desperate for people to talk to me. And I don't know. I can't foresee this going on for much longer. So I'm going to need something new to start streaming here in a little bit. I would really hate to put people through like a refactor session of all this stuff. Maybe for a different project. Definitely not for this one. It's a mess. That's argument to refactor it, but that could be its own project in itself. But yeah, I'm looking for suggestions. As always, this code can be found on my GitHub profile under repositories Elastic IRC Bot. Today's stream will be 2018-09-19. Will be the commit message. YouTube video 24, I believe. Yeah, 24. And that's all I got. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you tomorrow or next time if I don't end up doing this tomorrow. Anyway, have a good night.